that we should be a people that seek to live by a pattern in which we talk about why we believe what we believe. Our reading this morning comes from Matthew chapter 16, and we pick up in verse 24. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "All who want to come after me must say no to themselves, take up their crosses, and follow me. All who want to save their lives will lose them, but all who lose their lives because of me will find them. Why would people gain the whole world but lose their lives? What will people give in exchange for their lives?" This is good news for all people. You know, if Jesus had a PR team and they heard him make this statement of all who want to follow me must give up their life and pick up a device of torture to follow me, they would be losing their minds right about now. And here's the thing, Jesus didn't just say this once in the gospel account. He says it 3 separate times. So the second time they'd be like, "Look, Jesus, I don't know what you're trying to get at here." And by the third time, they'd be like, "Why do you even pay us?" But isn't that the truth about our faith? There's something so radically different about it. And there's some kind of truth that's being captured on, perhaps best summarized in this quote from Simon Sinek that says, "People don't believe in what you do, they believe in why you do it." This is our final week with the TED and Jesus as we've been diving into TED Talks and exploring what wisdom they have to offer and discovering that so many times it ties back into deep wisdom that's already been present in our scriptures. And the final one that we have for this week is from Simon Sinek once again. And the title of it, if you didn't have an opportunity to watch it, is Start With Why. Might be a little ironic that our final one of an 8-week series is Start With Why, but here we are after all. But Simon Sinek captures on something really important here, the importance of why. And it's a pattern that we see that all great leaders and organizations and institutions have known. And he calls this the golden circle. And it looks like this. In the golden circle, you have your why at the heart of it, your how is next, and then your what is at the end. But the reality is, too many times when we're living life, when our business is doing life, when our church is doing life, we do the exact opposite of the pattern that all great leaders have taught us to do. So instead, we begin with our what, which is our end result, our product, and then we move into our how, which is our process, and then if we're lucky enough, we eventually end up at our why we do this whole thing. Think about this. Apple is one of the most innovative companies still to this day, and they keep putting out things that we want to buy. They're a computer company, but yet we feel comfortable buying things that are not computers from them. We'll buy our iPhones from them. We'll buy MP3 players from them. We will buy speakers from them. We will buy a litany of things from them. And why do we do that? Well, Apple gets it right, but could you imagine for a second if they did it from the outside in? They might say, "We make a great computer, sleek designs, easy to use, and we do this through innovation." Want to buy a computer? Maybe, but there's lots of great computer companies out there, so maybe not. But instead, Apple understands the importance of flipping this and beginning with their why. So they begin with an understanding of who they are. They want to be the most innovative company in the world. And they do that by making sure that anything that they make is cutting edge, clean design, sleek, and easy to use. They just happen to make computers. Want to buy one? It's a little more convincing that way, is it not? And we see this pattern time and time again play out. How many times do we do this with our faith, though? How many times are we guilty of beginning with our what and ending at our why? What? We want to make disciples of Jesus Christ. How do we do that? Well, we tell people to gather, grow, and go together. You want to come join us? Or how about this one? We want people to give up their lives, pick up their cross, and become a disciple of Jesus Christ that's willing to die a painful death in service of that faith. And the way that we do that is we tell people to come study one book for the rest of your life over and over and over again, sing some songs, and maybe get together with some people to talk about it all over and over again. Want to join us? Probably not. But this is what we do to our faith, do we not? We begin with the end result, and we forget about if we ever even reach why we're all about it. And here's something really fascinating about this work that Simon Sinek did with this golden circle. What he found was it's not just true about how great leaders lead from why to what, but also it follows our biology, not psychology. It follows our biology, and you can see that it patterns itself after our actual human brain. You see, in the neocortex, that's where our rational senses come from. It's analytical. It's where our language is. It's our logic space. It's how we talk through, how we think through things. And that's the what. That's how we get to our what. But our limbic brain, the deeper functioning spaces of our brain, that is the space where our trust comes, where our behaviors come, where our decisions come from. It's where our gut feelings from. If you've ever said something like, I just have a gut feeling about this, it's actually your limbic brain speaking to you. And the thing is, your limbic brain has no language center. It can't use language to communicate to you. It has to use something deeper. It has to use purpose, values, whys. And so we see that our limbic brain understands the deepest piece of who we are and why we do what we do. And then when we reach out to our neocortex brain, then our behaviors will pattern themselves off of our deepest core beliefs. And if we don't take the time to understand our deepest core beliefs, then our outward behaviors are going to inform that. So you see the importance of that intention, because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so the goal then should be that we should be a people that seek to live by a pattern in which we talk about why we believe what we believe. Because if we talk about why we believe what we believe, then we'll attract other people who believe the way we believe or long and connect to the way that we believe. Anyone catch that while I might have given us the innovative way that Apple talks about why to how to what, but I didn't bother to give that to us for our Christian faith of how we might do that? It was intentional. And the reason for that is I wonder, do you know your why? Why are you a Christian? Why are you a disciple? Why are you someone who is committed to being a faithful church member? When was the last time you checked in with yourself about that? A dear friend and mentor in my life, Reverend Kisa Vaughn, who currently serves at St. Barnabas United Methodist Church, said this to a group of us. And she said, I'm sick of rearranging deck chairs. And that phrase has haunted me. And what she meant by that was she was tired of taking Christians that decided that they relocated geographically, and so of course you move the deck chair from one deck to your deck, or that someone decided they don't want to go to their church anymore, so they come to our church now. It's all rearranging deck chairs. When was the last time we made new deck chairs? When was the last time that you, through your relationships with someone, invited them into a deeper life of good news from Jesus Christ? If it's been a minute, perhaps you need to check in with your why. So why are you a Christian? Perhaps for you, you're a Christian because you have found that through missions, you go to serve the least of these. And somehow in serving the least of these, you're the one who walks away blessed. And washing someone else's feet, your feet get washed. Perhaps for you, you are a Christian because in the hardest, darkest times of your life, there was a community that came around you without judgment and supported you and loved and carried you through that. And now you get to be a part of a vibrant system that offers that to other people in their hardest and darkest seasons. Perhaps for you, you're a Christian because you found a guidebook that leads you to an abundant life, not an easy life, not a life where all the answers come immediately, but an abundant life. And it's hard to sometimes capture and explain, but it fills you and you wouldn't trade it for the world. Perhaps for you, you're a Christian because you found a place where you belong. Perhaps for you, you're a Christian because you found something that gives you eternal life, but that eternity begins right now, today, while you're living here on this side of the veil of heaven. Perhaps for you, you're a Christian because out of the hell of your own making to addictions or alcohol or fill in the blank, you found something that broke the shackles and gave you your life back. Why are you a Christian? When you fill that in, then you get to say, well, the way that I live into that is by making sure I prioritize time in my life to gather in things like community and worship that fills me up. And then I make sure to prioritize time to grow so that I go deeper in my faith, that I spend time in prayer. I spend time with this God who loves me unconditionally. And I prioritize time to go, to tell people about this good news, this why that lights my life with fire, and to serve others in mission because, well, it's the template after all that Jesus gave us. My aim is to be a disciple of Jesus Christ at the end of the day. Care to know more? May we be a people that understand our why, and then may we go out to tell others.